All right, and we're set with another Sunday special feature. We're visiting with the head coach of the Alabama Huntsville Chargers, Mike Corbett. Mike, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Mike, it's always neat to visit with people that come into Oceanside. So my first question for you is, coming here to Oceanside, what's your impression of the barn?
You know what? It's not bad. We have times in our in Huntsville we got to practice at the youth rink. It's very similar to this. So for us to be able to play a game here, it's not a big deal. We skate in our entire preseason all the way up until October, and then certain times throughout the year to. You know, when the circus comes in or whoever comes into our building, we have to move out. So, you know what? Ice is ice, a rink's a rink, and game time is game time, and college hockey game day is as good as any.
So let's talk a little bit about your program and being members of the WCHA. One of the things that the Arizona State team is doing right now, being in their third year of existence at the NCAA level, is trying to find a home, a conference. So what's it been like for you guys to get settled into the WCHA with the travel and things like that?
You know what? It's been really good. Obviously, the few years before I got there, the program folded for about 6 months, and part of it was because they were independent, and you know, the support was dwindling a little bit, and so it was tough to be an independent team and play on the road every single weekend, except for about 4 or 5 games. But we were able to get in the WCHA, and it's been fantastic for us. Obviously, my first few years it was tough because it's a very good league. Even with the realignment, we got a very strong league, and you just can't come in here and you know and win on a nightly basis. You got to plan. You got to be committed to hockey. Your school, your university's got to be committed to hockey. But it's been good, and it has the footprint expanded from the old WCHA. Obviously, yes. Not just by having Huntsville in there, but also by having some of the CCHA teams. So it's pushed on the travel, and you know, but we all have to travel one way or the other. You either jump on a bus or you jump on a plane, and you have to travel to your games. And like I said, game day is game day.
We talk about the conferences for a long time in college hockey. They were very regional with the old WCHA, and a lot of the Big Ten now and things were all. But now it's starting to spread out, and we called this a Sun Belt series with both you and ASU being the farthest south geographically. Do you think that makes a difference in hockey, or is it still hockey is hockey and teams are teams?
Well, you know, as far as it's spreading out, I think you know what, people are looking at it from a business standpoint, and that's ultimately what ended up happening. The Big Ten getting together, and the NCAA and these institutions are looking at it and understanding that hockey is a revenue-generating sport on campuses and can be a revenue-generating sport. And we know that the NCAA and college campuses like their money. So
right.
So they're seeing that hockey it can be that on their campuses. And so what they're trying to do is, yes, like you said, they eliminated some of the regional rivalries, which was too bad in all the leagues for the most part. But you know what? The ultimate dollar wins out, and that's where now you're gonna establish new rivalries, and you have one league in the NCHC that is it's a tough league every single night. Every league's a tough league every single night, but you have 6 to 8 teams out of the 10 teams in that league that could be in the top 20 at any point in time.
You know, I know as a college hockey coach, your goal is to get your team to a national tournament and to a national championship ultimately. Is it much easier, I'm guessing it is, as a member of a conference to get to that bid, or is it really, if your team is good, your team is good? I mean, you guys played as an independent for a while. What was that like, and is that a difficult task?
You know what? It's a very difficult task. But you had years ago when Don Lucia was at Fairbanks. You had Guy Godowski when he was at Fairbanks. I believe they were independent. Anchorage was an independent. Niagara was an independent. Went to the tournament. I tend to agree with you that if you're good, you're good. And I talked to Greg when they were looking at getting into our league when they made their proposal, and I looked at his schedule and said, if everything's based upon the RPI, and if Greg has a good season, he gets 20 wins with his current schedule, he's going to be knocking at the door in the NCAA tournament. Don't kid yourself. But you're right. Everybody wants the automatic qualifier by coming through a conference, to know that it's there. And let's be honest, you're playing for not just a national championship, but you're playing for a regular season championship and a conference championship also. And everybody, it's nice when you have the ability to play for championships.
Yeah, and that's nice. I'm guessing for your players to check boxes, right? They want to win the conference tournament. They want to win the conference overall, and then make that rush into the tournament. But as an independent, was it difficult to recruit players, knowing, or was it just because you were an NCAA program, it was a spot people wanted to go?
Well, you know what? It's always difficult to recruit players one way or another when you're a building program. The way things are right now is the kids are looking for certain things, and when you're building a program, it's very unique because there's not a lot of kids who looking for the teams that are building, are looking for the same things. A lot of the guys they're worried about more what's on the front of the jersey versus anything else in the recruiting process, and that's where kids are going to have to look at it. There's only 60 Division I teams. I don't care what league you're in. Not all the 60 Division I teams give out college scholarships, so kids have to look at what opportunity is actually presented to them. Arizona State or Alabama Huntsville might be their dream school, but if we have plenty of right wingers, we're not probably going to recruit them.
Right.
So they have to understand those things, and now they have to look at what's the best fit for them. And to me, that's what we just try to educate guys and make sure that they're the right fit for us, and educate people on, there's only 18 scholarships per school, and there's not a lot of scholarship money out there for.
Tell me a little bit about Huntsville again, and the capital, the hockey capital of the South, as you call it. Give us a game night perspective of what happens in Huntsville.
You know what? For us, we played. Obviously the Friday, Saturday night 7 o'clocks, and we get a good group of students coming in. We always want more, but we have a pretty faithful group of students, and we got a faithful fan base. Roughly it's about 22 to 2,500 people every night. Depending upon promotions and things like that, and what's going on in town, then we may get more people, but we do a good job. It's a fun atmosphere. We have our band going in the whole 9 yards, so it makes for a really, really good atmosphere in a building that's about 5,000. It's right downtown Huntsville, very easily accessible for a lot of people. Only about a mile and a half to 2 miles off of campus, so it's not far at all. So you know what? We like our game nights. We believe we got to make it better, but we like what we can bring on game nights as far as an entertainment value.
With Arizona State obviously looking to get a building and to get a little bit bigger, are you comfortable with a 5,000 seat arena for college hockey?
I am very much so. You know what? And our building's a city-owned facility, so we're another school who would love to be able to get our own building over the course of time, and just to be able to have it on campus for our students and use it for many other things just beyond hockey. But 5,000 is pretty good. It's a good bill. It's a good number, probably on the top end for a school like ours. The administration here has really got to look at it, as far as the number of seats that they want in a building here, because they have 40,000 full-time and 80,000 with commuters
right.
and online students. So you have to be able to look at that, because as we know, revenues can be fixed sometimes, and expenses are only going to continue to go up. So you want to be able to continue to add additional revenue through your own building.
Let's talk specifically about the team that you have on the ice. I thought last night you guys came out with a lot of speed, a lot of passion. That first period could have gone either way, and then it seemed to me like in the second period that ASU got a little heavy on you guys and started to work you over a little bit. Is that how you saw it, or was it different?
You know what? I thought it was a good back and forth game. We had our opportunities, and we weren't able to cash in. You know what? To me, that's where a lot of it was. It was a tightly contested game. Like you say, I think we got a step on them legs wise, and I think they got a few inches on us size wise. But I think it was two pretty much evenly matched teams, and it made for a good game. And now it comes down to a little bit of they got the special teams goal early, and they got some young guys in their lineup, but they're pretty talented guys, and that's where you can't make mistakes, and if you do, they're going to beat you, and they did, especially on that third goal. They blocked a lot of shots, but I'll be honest, I thought that was a game last night that could have went either way ultimately.
So what do you want to do tonight differently, or do you want to do anything differently? You just want to bring the same energy?
We want to bring the same energy for sure. We got to finish. We got to finish when we get our opportunities. When you get a breakaway early in the game, we need to be able to put those away. We need to be able to play with a lead. We haven't played with a lead yet this year, as far as scoring the first goal, that type of a lead. And we've given up the first goal every game this season. So we want to be able to get that first goal and get ourselves going. And the biggest thing is we're going to have to play smart. We're going to have to manage the puck a little bit better. Like we talked about, we haven't played a home game yet, so we've been on the road from New York to Michigan Tech to here, Notre Dame. We've played 3 top 10 teams in the country, and now we're coming on our 4th team, and we're a little road weary coming into the last 60 minutes, and we got to be able to play smart and play hard.
So was that by design, or was that kind of forced out of necessity with your building, or how did it come about? I'm sure that wasn't ideal for you to have to be on the road 4 straight weeks to start a season.
You know what? Non-conference. You just you kind of take what you can get a little bit. We're probably going to go on the road more times than not. Arizona State's coming back to our place next year, but this year we have all of our non-conference, our road series. So that's just the way it worked out. And then we have a tough matrix with our schedule, and this year we have a unique schedule. We're either all home or all road. We're all or nothing. That's not every other weekend for us, because we get the next 3 at home, then we got 6 on the road, and then we finish with 4 or 5 at home. So it's like 4 quarters in football. Every quarter is going to be either all at home or all on the road. So that's just the way it works. One year it works out in your favor. One year it works out where it's going to be tough.
I'm going to give you a final question and have you look into a crystal ball here. If you can look 10 years down the road in college hockey with the ASUs coming on board just the last 3 years, and UNLV talking about it, and some other things going on in the West, and the NHL putting an initiative out there, what do you think is going to happen in college hockey? Are we going to see some more teams in the next 4 or 5 years?
I think you are. Probably sooner versus later with a lot of these, at least on the men's side. There's so many things that have to go into it from the gender equity standpoint and some of those, and we know hockey's an expensive sport, but yet it can be a revenue generating sport, and there's going to be a lot of schools in this area. Hey, Northern Arizona used to have Division I hockey. There's no reason why they couldn't come back either, and Arizona. So I think there's going to be a lot of schools kicking the tires on it because they see, hey, they find that there's going to be one school that's going to find that $30 to $35 million building that's going to be perfect for almost any school that comes into Division I hockey. So people look at it and say, hey, if we can do that, and you're talking about some TV contracts for college sports right now, you know what, it's pretty big, especially when you're talking about UNLV and you're talking about USC, UCLA, Arizona, Northwestern, Illinois, schools like that who are already under TV contracts. And hockey is giving those schools about $3 million. So hey, that's 10 years on a $30 million building. And you know what? I think these schools are going to look very strongly into it. And but the other stuff that's beyond my pay grade with the gender equity and some of the politics that go into it, I prefer not to talk about that because I don't understand it.
Mike, I appreciate your time, and good luck to you and the Chargers the rest of the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it.